It's Saturday, the 14th of June. The annual's all done on the Mighty Luscombe. Got the last screw in and the last bit of hardware bolted on there. Let's go up and see how the boys at Oroville are doing. It's time for an Oroville update. My name's Juan Brown, and you're watching the Blanco Lirio channel. Want to give her one last good look over. Make sure you got all the inspection panels put back on.
Okay, the mixture is rich, lights are on, bags are on both. Fuel is on the left tank is nearly full. Right tank is half. Check the pattern. Doors and windows, seat belts. Nevada County traffic, Luscombe 71608, departing 25 to the northwest, Nevada County. Nobody in the pattern. Temperature and pressure look good. Let's go to Oroville. Good RPM. Tankers are back in town. Been back in town for over a month now. They've already been pretty busy this season.
The relentless cycle of flood and fire never stops here in California. As we approach the dam from over the Bidwell Bar Bridge, the water level is down to 795 feet. Having a little trouble keeping the window open today, exposing the inlet to the spillway. Contractors are now able to use the dirt spillway entrance as a parking lot. And of course, there's no talk of improving this inlet, hardening it up with any concrete. It doesn't need to be hardened up as long as the spillway is operating normally. Remember, the plan is to lower the lake level to below 750 feet by this fall to give contractors plenty of breathing room in the event there's any hang-up of meeting the 1 November deadline of having an operational spillway done this season. One of the many balancing acts water managers are having to balance right now, as you look at the inflows and outflows, 6,000 to 7,000 CFS. Inflows are beginning to show negative numbers, to me indicating the amount of evaporation that's going on right now as temperatures exceed 100 degrees. But one of the balancing acts folks got to maintain is outflows for the summer run salmon fishing season out of the Thermalito Afterbay. Fish on! The 2018 run is beginning right now. And these water releases are being controlled primarily by the Hyatt Power Plant there at the base of Oroville Dam. Well, as we bend around the emergency spillway, we can see that the mystery of the dirt on the emergency spillway has been solved. They've created another access road over the emergency spillway, relieving traffic congestion on the haul roads. Remember too, the boat ramp above the emergency spillway is still the primary structural concrete plant for the entire project. So we can see that phase 1 of the emergency spillway, the placing of roller compacted concrete on the north section, is complete, and prep work is still being accomplished for phase 2, the placing of the rest of the roller compacted concrete on the emergency spillway. And here's another low spot they're creating in the phase 2 section of the emergency spillway. We're looking at the backside of the secant cutoff wall. And that second low spot is located right over here. And you can see the secant cutoff wall is straight, but contours with the terrain. And as we head over to the main spillway, it looks like they're stockpiling more material for roller compacted concrete directly below us there. And that's one of the big expenses of this project, or additional expenses, is the increased volume of roller compacted concrete needed for the emergency spillway due to the location of the secant cutoff wall so far away from the emergency spillway. Because that's where the good bedrock was found in the geological reports. So starting at the top of the main spillway, where the original spillway was blasted out, demolished just a few weeks ago, leveling concrete is being placed and the stay forms are being installed for the drain system. On top of this leveling concrete, they'll soon be placing structural concrete panels and anchor bolting them into the leveling concrete and bedrock below. The next section of main spillway was basically completed last year and gives workers a place to place panels and forms for this year's work. Now onto the middle section of the main spillway, the roller compacted concrete section, that section that covered up Croyle Canyon 150 feet deep. Here's a couple of pics from the archives showing you the original damage. The RCC has been milled smooth, trenches cut, drains installed, and now the beginning of the placement of the structural concrete slabs. Note the green epoxy on the slabs that are going on the bottom of the spillway for corrosion control. Because of the temperatures exceeding 100 degrees, workers are having to add plastic over the top of the concrete to help it cure and not fire off too quickly. Careful, boys, that stuff's slippery. Before the structural slabs are placed, holes are drilled into the RCC, deep into the RCC, and these huge anchor bolts are placed and grouted into place to help hold the structural slabs in position. These vertical walls are being formed up with concrete poured in place and will form the sides of the spillway. The next section of spillway was completed last year, and this allows crews a balance of how much concrete they could pour last year versus how much concrete they can place this year. Place, not pour. And get this job done in between flood seasons. Work continues on the dentates or dispersion blocks at the bottom of the spillway, where at 100,000 CFS flow, the power of that water hitting the bottom of the spillway is the equivalent of 1,000,000 horsepower. A far cry from the mere 100 horsepower here in the Mighty Luscombe. So it looks like crews are on schedule to meet the November 1st deadline of having the main spillway structure basically finished. And of course, lots of finish work will continue beyond November 1st, and work on the emergency spillway will continue beyond the November 1st deadline as well. But Oroville will have an operational spillway ready for this year's flood season.
Well, it's been a real smooth flight over Oroville today. Here in the middle of summer, in the mornings, we were getting some smooth air in the early AM. 28 degrees Celsius here at Nevada County Airport with a field elevation of 3,100 feet. They're reporting a density altitude over 5,000 feet already this morning. So let's see if we can go make a kablamo landing and shake this thing up a little bit. Let's try a short field landing today and see how short we can land this thing with the warmer temperatures. So we'll set up for straight in for runway 7, traffic permitting. Nobody's in the pattern that I can hear so far. Runway 7 heading to the east, 070 degrees. It's the uphill runway here in Nevada County. And we'll pick an aim point pretty far down the runway. Nevada County traffic, Luscombe 71608, 1 mile, straight in final, 07, Nevada County. Nobody else coming in for the 25 runway. Trim.
Rivets, traffic arc 341 Tango Alpha, final runway 25, Rivets.
We'll kind of aim for those 2 white stripes at the, what is that, 1,000-foot marker? We'll drag it in for a short field landing. There's about 55 indicated. Indicated. Again, think about that density altitude, a lot thinner air at 5,000 feet. A little bit of drift out of the north. Parachute approach. Well, it looks like it might be a bit long for my aim point. Maybe we'll... Boom! How quick can we get her stopped? I think we ended up touching down between the 2 white markers and the turnoff. Getting her stopped not far beyond that. Let's go get some gas. Thanks to your kind and generous support of this station. Get some air in here too.
Traffic arc 341 Tango Alpha.
460 a gallon, down 5 cents.